This week, Fox 5 gets an exclusive look inside a gang takedown.
We're being asked to put on bulletproof vests because we're going after a crew that is wanted for numerous shootings.
Plus, a shocking drug death at a Bronx daycare.
Fentanyl is the most urgent threat in our nation.
And a student stabbed right outside a Brooklyn high school.
Ever since they started back to school, it's been fighting.
Right now, Fox 5's Crime in the City. Here are the crimes across the 5 boroughs. We begin this week in the Bronx, where Fox 5's Lisa Evers was there for an NYPD gang bust.
Abdullah, how will you plead to the charges? Alleged Fivesley gang leader Abdullah Zika and other alleged accomplices were taken out of the 50th precinct in the Bronx to face a judge on multiple felony charges ranging from armed robberies to attempted murder. While most of the city still slept, officers from the Gun Violence Suppression Division, warrants, and many local precinct detective squads gathered at an undisclosed location in the Bronx to be briefed on the case. Our Fox 5 NY camera was the only one allowed in.
Gun in their head. Gun put to their head. That's how brazen they were. Over and over and over again. We have intel that there may be hundreds out there. Think about that for a second. You know, these are individuals that went into neighborhoods where they felt confident that incidents wouldn't get reported.
As the officers head out, we need to get some extra protection. We're being asked to put on bulletproof vests because we're going after a crew that is wanted for numerous shootings as well as one murder and numerous attempted murders. Police say the 12 gang members charged, who range in age from 16 to 21, are known as the Fivesleys because they're from 175th Street in the Bronx. In this surveillance video, you see 4 alleged members, including leader Abdullah Zika, open fire on a Bronx street. A mother has to duck and pull her 2 children down in order not to get hit in the crossfire.
It's disheartening to see that we have essentially some adolescents that are the perpetrator of these crimes.
This drill music video includes 4 alleged members of the gang, say police. The reckless shootouts with rivals are fueled by disses and drill rap videos, says Chief Jason Savino, who insists police are not against the music itself.
Where I have to draw the line is when it incites violence. And we're seeing that, where we have a lot of aspiring drill rappers, and some go in a completely different direction and use their trade as a talent. But we have some that are clear drivers of violence that call out and make fun of homicide victims.
Bronx District Attorney Darcel Clark announced a 110-count indictment against the 12 alleged gang members for horrible crimes, including attempted murder, assault, weapons possession, and other serious felonies.
We are really using precision prosecution as well as investigations to make sure we get the right individuals. And when you do that, that's when you will see a significant change.
Police say this surveillance video shows how they brutally attacked a group of day laborers coming home.
I'm a member of this community as well. I was born and raised here. I went to school here. I still have family here, so this is extremely important for these guys like this to be taken off the street.
We've seen time again, when we take down the trigger pullers, those that are driving crime, have the absolute goal to go out and shoot people. When we remove them and put them, quite frankly, where they belong, we see a drastic reduction in crime.
Of course, the suspects are presumed innocent until they're proven guilty. But Chief Savino tells us he believes his detectives have more than enough evidence to make their case in court. In Kingsbridge, the Bronx, I'm Lisa Evers, Fox 5 News.
Also in the Bronx, a 1-year-old boy dies after being exposed to fentanyl at a daycare.
2 suspects arrested in connection to the death of a 1-year-old boy at a Bronx daycare were arraigned in federal court today.
Fox 8 Sharon Crowley in the newsroom with more on what we've learned about the allegedly horrifying and dangerous conditions that were happening inside the daycare, Sharon.
It's really incredible, and we're learning more details tonight. The U.S. Attorney says the daycare owner, her husband, who's still on the run, and a tenant were operating a drug operation inside of the Bronx daycare, distributing fentanyl. A search of the daycare turning up large quantities of narcotics and a so-called kilo press used to make fentanyl into powder. The drugs were kept in a closet near mats used by the kids to sleep on, creating a toxic environment.
We allege that the defendants poisoned 4 babies and killed one of them because they were running a drug operation from a daycare center.
The federal government now in charge of the investigation into the tragic death of one-year-old Nicholas Dominici, who, along with 3 other children under the age of 3, was exposed to the toxic opioid fentanyl while taking a nap inside this Bronx daycare.
Fentanyl is the most urgent threat in our nation. And the tragedy that unfolded in the Bronx at the Danino Nino Daycare Center demonstrates the danger that fentanyl poses to every New Yorker.
The daycare owner, Gray Mendez, weeping in federal court, and the other defendant, Carlisto Acevedo Brito, who rented a room inside the daycare, were arraigned on murder and attempted murder charges. Court documents allege Friday afternoon when the children would not wake up from their naps. Before calling 911 to get help for the children, Mendez called her husband to alert him. Prosecutors say he's seen on security camera footage leaving the daycare with 2 shopping bags out a back alley door before ambulances arrive. He's still on the run. When medics got to the daycare, they administered Narcan to the children to counteract the toxic narcotic. It was too late for little Nicholas. The U.S. attorney says the defendants were running an illegal drug operation out of the daycare.
When law enforcement officers searched the daycare, they found a large quantity of fentanyl and machinery used to press and package narcotics for distribution. And in particular, they found a brick of fentanyl, about 1 kilogram in weight, right on top of children's playmats in the daycare's closet.
Moving to Queens Village, a bust of weapons and drugs highlights the threat of fentanyl to children.
Another case of a child potentially being exposed to fentanyl.
All right, this time a drug bust included high-powered weapons in a home in Queens where a 10-year-old lives. Linda Schmidt in the newsroom with more on these disturbing details. Linda.
Yeah, hi there, Steve and Natasha. It seems that people just don't learn. The NYPD holding a news conference today about the drug bust in Queens Village to highlight the widespread fentanyl problem and the concerns about children once again being exposed to the fatal drug. Go ahead and take a look at this. Police displaying about 4 kilos of cocaine, heroin, and presses that are used for packaging and distributing drugs. Detectives say there was also evidence the drugs were being mixed with fentanyl. The large drug operation was being operated out of a single-family home where a 10-year-old child lived, putting that child's life in danger. Multiple guns, including a high-capacity rifle, were also confiscated. 5 adults are now under arrest.
A kid's bedroom across the hall is fatal doses of legal narcotics. It's just across the hall from where a 10-year-old child is sleeping. It is completely unacceptable.
And police say they take these cases personally because the drug dealers, they have no regard for the lives of children or anybody else.
In Brooklyn, a teen is stabbed and 2 others are slashed after school lets out in Brownsville.
When you talk to residents here in Brownsville, they will tell you that violence at dismissal since school began has pretty much been the norm. But just today, a massive fight landed 3 teens in the hospital, one fighting for his life.
When we leave school, you could just feel the tension.
It didn't take much for the violence to erupt outside of Brownsville Academy High School Tuesday. School lets out at 2:40. At 2:55, according to these students, a massive fight broke out among 3 groups of kids.
We go to see what's going on over there, and they just fighting, and it's just a lot going on. Then we hear that somebody got stabbed.
That person, an 18-year-old, was stabbed in the chest. He was badly injured, although his situation seems to be improving. 2 other male teenagers were slashed. It's unclear why.
This is the 4th time. This never happened before.
But that's not what other neighbors are saying. Some say the violence is typical. Others question the mindset of the kids that attend this school, saying it's an alternative school for problem kids. The DOE website lists it as a transfer school that's designed to help students who have dropped out or fallen behind on credits. The school does not have metal detectors.
Ever since they started back to school, it's been fighting. Every day since school has opened back up right here, there's been a fight every single day.
The problem's so bad, one man asked us not to show his face, but he claims the violence in the community is mirrored in this school.
I will never put my kid over here, no time at all.
Moving to Manhattan, the man accused of terrorizing people all over the Upper East Side is busted by cops.
have extreme relief that he's finally with the authorities.
Writer Kelly Krath weighs in on Thursday's arrest of 32-year-old Sam Mensah. Mensah has been charged with assault after at least 6 people filed police reports that he on purpose ran into or otherwise hit them with the stroller he was pushing with a child inside he says was his son. The string of attacks happened along the Upper East Side, and in several reported cases, he spat on unsuspecting bystanders. Krath was one of the victims herself, and as a journalist with the publication East Side Feed, she's been covering the incidents. Krath and East Side Feed's reporting prompted outreach from others who say Mensah also attacked them.
We were getting reports of multiple times a day that he was attacking people. It's beyond my comprehension that he was able to do this for so long to so many people.
Police say that Mensah has at least 14 priors on charges including assault, robbery, and grand larceny that go back to 2009. Fox 5's Arthur Chien interviewed the son of a victim who says Mensah so violently attacked his elderly mother last weekend that she was physically injured. We asked legal analyst Andrew Lieb if the track record of unprovoked attacks are escalating in violence. Could Thursday's arrest mean Mensah will be off city streets?
The physical injury on the victim, we hope not for that for anyone, but that's when the charges become real serious and we could get serious jail time.
As for Krath, she's concerned that New York State bail reform laws could mean Mensah will be back allegedly harassing, menacing, and assaulting unsuspecting New Yorkers.
Not only do I personally have many, many fears that he will either get out very quickly, that there'll be no bail set, or even if there is a bail, that he'll do this again. Because he was previously arrested several months ago, got out, and then did all of this. So I have huge concerns.
Back in the Bronx, an 80-year-old man is found shot in the head in Highbridge.
An 80-year-old man shot and killed in the Bronx, but police are now searching for the shooter.
So investigators say police heard gunshots while on patrol in the Highbridge section early yesterday morning. When they arrived at West 168th and Ogden Avenue, they found Marcelino Valerio with a bullet wound to the head. Citizen app video shows the area after EMS arrived. Mr. Valerio was pronounced dead at the scene. No word on a possible motive for this murder.
Down in Manhattan, another deadly shooting of a senior, this time in West Harlem.
Police are investigating a deadly shooting in Harlem. It happened around 11 o'clock this morning on West 142nd Street and Lenox Avenue. Officers found a 65-year-old man with a gunshot wound to his chest. He was taken to Harlem Hospital in critical condition and was later pronounced dead. So far, no arrests.
And finally, police need your help finding the suspect in a slashing at Grand Central Terminal.
The search is on tonight for a suspect who slashed a man in the face in the subway. This happened around 9 Saturday morning on the southbound 6 platform at Grand Central Station. Police say the suspect got into an argument with a 41-year-old man and then slashed him across the face with an unknown object. The victim was rushed to the hospital in stable condition. If you can help police with this case, you are asked to contact them.
And that's this week's Crime in the City. Subscribe for more at youtube.com/Fox5NY.